Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Thomas and I'm here yet again to do another video, and this video is called 3 Scary True Skype Stories. Now, I use Skype nearly every day to speak to my friends and stuff, and I thought this would be an interesting video because what can really happen on Skype that can be that terrifying? Really, I mean, I'm bound to find out now, but and the only thing that could really be terrifying on Skype is if you see something really terrifying on when someone's cam's on. But that's it. But there we are. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want more videos like this, more reaction videos like this, hit the subscribe button down below. I try and do videos daily. Hope you enjoy.
Number 1. A heartbroken woman told yesterday how she watched her boyfriend kill himself online from 7,000 miles away. Julie Zelinsky said that all she could do was stare helplessly at her computer screen as Adrian Rowland smashed a glass and used it to slash his throat, wrists and stomach. And despite begging him to let Indian police into his flat to help him, Adrian, at the age of 53, refused and was found dead 10 hours after the first call. Julie told an inquest that Adrian, who was a deli on business, was in a complete state when she had contacted him via a Skype internet video call. She said he was sweating profusely and his eyes were just staring. He kept saying, "They are going to get me, they are going to get me." He said there were people in the room that weren't there. I just kept reassuring him that nobody was there. I told him I'd get help. Together with a friend, Julie managed to calm him down. But then Adrian started smashing up everything in his flat. Julia said he walked into the kitchen, grabbed a glass and smashed it on the table, then stuck it straight into his neck. He was holding his bloodied wrist out to the screen. He wanted us to see. I don't think he realised he was bleeding. Myself and my friend just looked at one another and ran from the computer. We couldn't believe what we just seen. She immediately dialed 999, and while a policeman talking to Adrian over Skype persuaded him to wrap a tea towel around his neck, other officers tried to raise the alarm in India. But when the police and paramedics reached his flat, Adrian refused to open the door, and under Indian law, they could not smash their way in. Agonizingly, Adrian slowly bled to death as Julie continued to beg him to accept help. PC Victoria Blasco said he didn't believe it was the police outside. He thought it was the people who wanted to get him. The Indian emergency services left claiming that there was nothing they could do. Help eventually arrived 10 hours after police in Britain had made the first call to India, but it was too late. Number 2.
Okay, just want to say a little bit about that story. How stupid is it having a law in India where you can't smash your way into somebody's house when they're bleeding to fucking death? That is the most stupid law ever. I mean, if I was a policeman in India or a paramedic in India and someone was bleeding to death on the other side of that door and there's a law saying I can't smash my way in, I would fucking do it anyway. I'm not going to just stand outside knowing someone's bleeding out inside and not do anything to try and save them. Because if I'm a paramedic, I took the job to try and save people, not to let them fucking die. It is a stupid law, and after that death happened, that law should be fucking chucked out. Anyway,
my best friend Mike recently died in a car accident. I'm actually still trying to get over it. Writing my thoughts in my journal, watching my favourite YouTuber, or listening to music for a while. We were thousands of miles apart, in different countries, you see. I was a shut-in, and he was too. I liked video games, music, and doing the occasional storytelling. We often talked through Skype, and I really do miss him. One day, I was on the computer and I got a call from Skype. It was Mike. My heart started beating, expecting a cliché scene from a horror movie to occur. But when I answered, it wasn't the smashed up face of Mike looking at me in horror, but rather the sobbing faces of his mother and father. They called through Mike's profile to check up on me and asked me how I was doing. The mother burst into tears, and the father and I spoke very few words. He said to me that he'd hoped I'd be getting better soon, and I said the same thing to him. Then the call ended. That same night, as I lay in bed, I was thinking about me and Mike, the times we played together at the park, the first time we met, and the last. He was so ambitious about life and so excited to begin his own adventures into the world. But he never got the chance. We were the same age, both at 18, a month apart from each other. We've known each other for years. He used to live in my neighbourhood until his dad got a new job and had to move country. But my thoughts were cut short by the sound of someone calling me on Skype. I leave my computer on so I can be called at any time on Skype, even if I'm in bed. I keep my headphones on so my mum and dad didn't hear anything, so I can wake up whenever I'm called. I only have a couple of friends on Skype, and it's usually Mike that calls. When I answered it though, it wasn't Mike's mum or dad, it was Mike. His face gashed open and bruised, sitting still in the coffin. I don't know how I was able to see his face inside the coffin. There was no camera, no laptop or anything inside there. The video call ended, but called back shortly. I answered again, but there was nothing inside the coffin this time. Mike was gone, and in the small window where I could see myself, I saw someone standing behind me, covered in blood, wearing the same clothes as Mike did when he died. Number 3.
Okay, I was wrong. I said before I started this video that what could you possibly see on Skype that could scare the fuck out of you? Well, that is one thing. You know, I thought that the story was going to be that he had a phone call from this, Skype call from this Mike, and he shit himself because he thought, oh, Mike's dead. It turned out to be his parents. I thought that was going to be the whole thing. I thought, well, that's not very scary. But that, what? That is fucked up. There's no camera where Mike Coffin is, yet he can see his slashed open face and everything. And then the Skype call goes again, but nobody's there. Then he sees someone standing behind him wearing the same clothes that Mike was wearing when he died, and he was covered in blood. I don't even know how I'd react if I actually saw that. I don't know how I would react if I ever saw anything like that. I don't even know what to say about it. That's probably one of the creepiest things I've heard. Whoa.
Smile.dog is nothing more than a silly creepypasta. It's so dumb. I can't believe people find it scary. I mean, it's a dog with human teeth. Big deal. The reason I'm so annoyed about this is because my friend won't shut up about it. I gave the story a quick read, but honestly, I found it super boring. I'm not a believer in the afterlife. I never have been. I was on Skype with a friend tonight. He looked really tired, so I asked him what was wrong. I couldn't believe when he told me that it was about that smile dog again. I got a little irritated with him too, telling him to stop being such a baby. But he looked at me like he was being really serious. He explained that he'd been having this dream of that same skinned dog with human teeth asking him to spread the word, whatever that means. It's been driving him nuts for a couple of days now, so much so that he refuses to go to sleep anymore. He was genuinely terrified as well, constantly looking behind him with his lights on and stuttering when he talked. I ended the call about 20 minutes later, and then shortly after, received an email with a picture attached to it. It said, "I'm sorry. It was from my friend I was just talking to. When I opened the message, that stupid picture of that dog appeared with an intense scream. The noise then cut and I was free to read the message in peace. It read, Bruce, I hope you can forgive me for what I've done. It was the only way I could get rid of it. It wants you, Bruce. It told me that since it first came to me. It used me to get to you. I've been trying to fight it, but I can't. The person that sent me this exact image along with the sound had a grudge against me and was also suffering from this monster. He passed it on to me, cursed me, and unfortunately, I cursed you. You need to get rid of it before it kills you, which it will. You need to spread the word. Spread the word, Bruce. It's the only way you can survive. The electric then cut out all over my house, and I was left in darkness. And at my room door, I could hear something scratching against it, and a mild, growling sound.